Hi everyone and welcome back to WARNO League Season 0 from SD League. Today we are with JaneSRBRUS playing on the right in blue as the KDA, and over on the left we have Tofuk playing as the 35th. Both players with a few forward deployment troops. It's going to be tight getting into this area here, though a lot of JaneSRBRUS's vehicles are going down the long way, so he's going to be late getting to the party and there's going to be a lot more stuff in there from Tofuk. Plenty of stuff getting up here as well for both players. A good spread across the map, though, as always, a focus down in Alpha. MiG-29 in for Tofuk already. Plenty of AA in at the other side for Jane, of course. There's a book there. Is that another book? No, it's an OSA. Combat already going on here. There's an Mi-24 taking out some of the vehicles. Though Jane has managed to get his infantry in. He does have a small foothold in the town. A lot more units here. MiG-27 anti-tank jet brought in there. MiG-29 made short work of it though. Book has got a shot off at the MiG-29, but it did miss. T64 tank coming in here to reinforce this point. There are a lot of units in here, to be fair. I mean, there is a lot of red. Tofuk also in a nice position in this point, has some forward troops here. Not a lot in this forest though. UAZ SPG-9 spam from Jane coming in there. We've seen that done in a few games now. Obviously Lathans does it quite a lot. I've actually tried this in multiplayer. They are very effective at taking out large numbers of units. Obviously getting them around the back here, they have the potential to take out command vehicles, and they are just racing along. I'm sure these Razvedka can see them. But the main focus right now is this battle for the city here. Spetsnaz obviously very effective because of the RPO launcher. These ones coming in. These ones need supply. SPG-9 vehicles going up and down here. These ones getting engaged by that tank. Unfortunately, they will not do much to that tank at all. A little bit more annoying up here for anything coming in, although once a tank arrives, it won't do much good. Tofuk is actually maneuvering that T64 up to the top, I think, to deal with these. That's not a bad shout, as they can't really damage the T64 very much. Command coming in here. I assume that one, I don't know where that one's going. Maybe is going to Delta. I thought it was going to come down here to Alpha, but it's kind of taking the road up there. And there's one being called in for here as well. That is risky having it there though, just because there are two more of these. I'd be very careful with that. Jane is moving his forces across this point though, into a much better position at that side. Obviously, we'll stop reinforcements coming down that road if he controls this area. And these guys are going to be kind of off on their own and stuck. Book there, engaging on that MiG-29. The MiG-29 is down. Commands in for both these points for JaneSRBRUS, who's actually been +6 for quite a while and has, you know, got quite an advantage of 700 points there. Down to +3 now. There's another command coming in here. I assume he's going to try and get a command in the back of here, though that BMD2 is going to be a real thorn in Jane's side. And at the top of the map, I feel like Jane got in a nice position getting these things forward, but unfortunately it now feels more like he is sandwiched between Tofuk's units. Jane losing units down here to this BMD2. He must know it's there now, though. He is maneuvering this T55 into position. That's two sets of infantry that he's lost there. T55 should make short work of this, as it is on the previous patch, so the T55s hadn't have any kind of nerf at this point, price or otherwise. This command, obviously, at significant risk if that's still alive. But Jane should be able to get the command in there and make it +2 once more. Rocket attack chopper with some Spetsnaz GRU coming around the back there. Though I think they're actually going to land in this point. I thought he might try and get them right around the back. There isn't actually anything there to stop that. I think they'd get round unseen if they're stuck to the very edge of the map. And the same up here potentially. There's a Spetsnaz there, but they're not recon. Osa coming in there. What is the line of sight on those guys? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'd get past without an issue. Plenty of air defense for Jane here. Not that many jets from Tof's side, though. How's it looking down here? I mean, +2 is good. Jane ticking up those points. But not in the best position in this point. Could easily be pushed out, I think. There are a lot of units here from Tof. Up here, well, it's really difficult to say. I mean, Tof has more units in the point, but there's a lot more reinforcements arriving now for Jane. Those Conkers, though, potentially going to get some kills. One of those anti-tank units dead. This is quite an interesting game because, as it stands, I could totally see Jane winning on points. But I feel as though if Tof does a significant push at the bottom, he could take that point. I'm not sure that Jane could hold against all of that, though he is bringing in more and more reinforcements, so that opinion will slowly change. I mean, getting these T55s up closer here, these Spetsnaz aren't going to be any use against those T55s. These Spetsnaz are obviously very good against the infantry, but Spetsnaz don't have any anti-tank. So it kind of slowly swings more and more in Jane's favour. And these continue to be a thorn in Tof's side. They're still there. These Conkers, are they out of ammo? Yes, they are. So tanks now pose a threat to these units. Jet coming in there. Rocket attack MiG-27. We'll finish off that, but we'll take a lot of fire and is dead. I was going to say, there's a good air defense net for Jane here. Tof marking that vehicle. Don't know if he has anything to kill it with. He is bringing in his own command now to go in this corner at this point. Surprised. Oh, I was about to say, where's the command for this one? But there it is. Another command vehicle coming in there. This is turning into quite a big fight. Flamethrower troops in now for Jane as well. I mean, as I say, I think Jane is going to make progress across this point. Rocket attack chopper. Well, anti-tank chopper with rockets will make a difference here, though. Rocket attack chopper is very good at killing infantry. Neither player with any artillery, and there are some mortars coming in there for Tof now. Back to neutralize, but Jane's still ahead at 1,000 points. This is one heck of a fight for this point. T64 coming in. MiG-23 anti-air trying to take out that chopper. Did some damage. Didn't finish the job. That chopper is dead. T64 doing a really good job. Managed to kill one of the T55s. I do love the T64 as a unit. MiG-29 came in and I think, yes, killed that. But the MiG-29 is dead as well. Marker going down on the book there. Must say, we haven't seen Jane move around anti-air after it's fired. So, we'll be at risk from artillery, but not some... I mean, the mortars could damage them. Command infantry pushing across into this point here. Soon we'll shift into +2. Oh, no, I tell a lie. It will not be +2 for Tof. Yes, there's a command coming in for Jane as well. Tof once again with plenty of units in this point and is making a bit of progress. Has managed to push Jane back again. And up here at the top, I feel as though Tof Slightly more units in the point. I think Jane is going to have a hard time of it here in terms of number of forces. If Toff can push Jane out of these two middle points, Jane will be in a difficult position. Not much movement here. That BMP-1, obviously recon, is posing a threat to infantry at the edge of that point. Or the edge of that forest, I should say. Spetsnaz doing a really good job here. Still pressing forward, but obviously the unit's taking a lot of damage. Oh, we are seeing T55 spam at the back there, as we've seen in a lot of games. This T55 horde, and a few T62s called in there as well. So we're going to see some kind of tank push, I think, in this point from Jane. We've seen that done a lot in this tournament. Command points neutralized, obviously, at the moment. Whether it stays that way is up for debate. If it stays as it is and we hit the 40-minute mark, then Jane gets the win on points. So Toff does need to make a move and take a point. Nona's preparing to fire there. Lots of smoke in this area, lots of combat still. Spetsnaz pushing around the back here. BMD-2 and T64 providing good fire support across here for Toff. Toff has lost the rest of those Spetsnaz though. Looking a bit more balanced here now. Toff not with the overwhelming force that was previously there. I think that's the Nonas getting some shots off down here. I hear a jet. Cluster bomber coming in. Ooh. Zoomed in with the camera too much. Cluster bomber is getting hit before it even gets in and drops its bombs. I was going to say, air defense now, as I say, very good on Jane's side. Marker down again on that buck, but he hasn't actually gone in to kill it yet. Really needs artillery to be doing that job. Malika in for Jane now. Very good piece of artillery. Lots of fire going down on these Desert Nikki here, trying to rush across the side there. Will be engaged by both these SPG-9s. They're stunned, but they could potentially surely get a shot off. Oh no, they can't. Rocket launcher is too short. It's only a 500-meter rocket launcher. Lots of fire going down on this corner. But Jane holding. Jane has a good spread of units around the point. Much more focused in this corner for Toff. Really struggling to see which way this could go. Jane bringing in a lot of vehicles here now. All those T-55s have arrived. More T-62s on the way. Mortars in here now for Jane as well. Really struggling to see how this is going to go. Jane is really far ahead in points. And both players have similar amounts of units on the field. I wouldn't say that like one player seemingly has overwhelming force. We do see some units pushing forward here again for Toff, but it's not a significant amount. T64 winning out on the fight there. Mortars dropping in this area here. Panzerjäger pushing up. Panzerjäger not a bad unit, but mainly anti-tank. More mortars coming in there for Jane. More tanks coming in. He's going to have a very big tank force at this bottom area. Pushing up with the flamethrower troops now. Really needs some recon to spot that vehicle, I guess. These T64s are an absolute nightmare for Jane right now. They are doing so much damage. Now, honestly, there isn't a lot of anti-air at this side. So, although, obviously, Jane doesn't know that, jets of some description would be quite effective against this front line. Hoff pushing up those T64s along with the BMD-2. That chopper's going to die, I would imagine. Osa getting off plenty of shots. There it is, dead. T64s, super effective here. The Spetsnaz won't be very much use, but the Schutzen will be okay. They do have RPGs. T55 placed at the side here. Good shots off on these infantry. T62s coming across will be slightly more effective against T64s, though certainly not the be-all and end-all. Just under 23 minutes left of this match, and it's become a tight one that is really a battle for this bottom point. Both players bringing in lots of reinforcements down here. More infantry arriving there, recon arriving as well. That T64 now taking plenty of damage from the various tanks around and the infantry. T62's putting down plenty of covering fire there. MiG-21 got in and out, unscathed. MiG-29 getting very close to the air defense net. That's going to die. It's going to be very lucky if it doesn't. Multiple missiles going for it, and it's dead. Yeah, there's a lot of AA here. A lot of AA. Jane has that tied down. Not even sure what that MiG bombed, but at least it got out alive for Jane. Very little movement at the top. You do see a few units pushed up the top there for Toff. Some random artillery fire from Jane's side trying to snipe the CV here. This is a really difficult battle for both players. Rocket artillery. It's a grad launcher. Wow. Not something we see very often in the 1v1 games at all. Can it kill the command vehicle? No, is the answer. It's already gone its left to right pattern. It's already, I don't know, stunned it. But it doesn't really do any damage. I mean, that, yeah. How much do they even cost now? 145 points. Better off bringing in some tube arty. Mortars being used by both sides. T64 is still being used to very good effect by Toff as fire support against infantry in buildings here. These Panzerjäger obviously aren't much use against the infantry. Will be good at taking out all these vehicles though. Unfortunately they are dead already. Tanks pushing around this way now. Perhaps that's an easier route for these tanks to push around here, provide fire support against the units in the buildings, and then get into these trees here. Mortar fire going in here again, trying to kill that command that's up there, but obviously it's way out of the way. Good positioning on the commands actually from Toff. Slightly unusual positions, making it harder to get snipes. Lots of units on the field for both players still. As I say, I'm really struggling to say which way this could go. Those tanks from Jane getting far too close to the front through the buildings here, taking lots of ATGM fire, taking lots of fire from the T64s. The T55 there is just dying left, right and centre. They are not providing the best fire support they could be. More T62s arriving at the back there. Svedka BMP-1 getting ATGM shots off. It is dead though. Not as effective against those T62s, obviously. More Panzerjägers coming in. More T62s. There's a lot of T62s on the field right now. At the other side, another T64 coming in. Toff playing very well with those T64s. They're being very useful. Another strike from that grad launcher. I mean, it's probably going to do... Is it going to do slightly more potentially to infantry? I mean, it's not doing a lot. It's more just stunning everything, which is reasonable for a grad launcher. It's what it does in Wargame Red Dragon as well. Matsuchun arriving here. Toff going for another push at this point. No real maneuvers up here though. Lots of fire coming in against the units. Mostly from mortars. Toff's actually managed to push here. Look, those infantry have pushed through the top there. He's actually maneuvering units forward slightly. Engaging on this squad here and their transport. Obviously, Jane knows they're there, I guess. Could Jane be in slight trouble here, having to pull tanks back and all of these units pushing forward quite aggressively? Spetsnaz obviously should make short work of the infantry, but there is a lot of support fire from vehicles around. That applies to both sides, though. Oh, yeah, these tanks here are doing a really good job at pinning down those infantry. And here as well, more T-62s firing at these infantry here. This could be a failed push from Toff, but can Jane mount a counter push? I'm not sure. Toff consolidating hold on this position, pushing forward with more units, planning to get in these buildings. These Metis still have their missiles, so if once they get into these buildings, they will be able to provide fire support against vehicles coming in. MiG-27 rocket attack coming in there, but taking a lot of fire and is dead. Spetsnaz dead there. Looks like Jane is pushing his advantage right now with the T-62s pushing up slowly here. Some choppers coming in for fire support as well. Biggest threat to the choppers is just that one Igler, I think, which isn't much of a threat. Oh, there is a ZU-23 up there as well. It's not a lot, as long as he's careful with them. That's some good shots across here. I was going to say it's the Nonas. I thought the tank was getting shots across there for a second. Nona's trying to get shots off on the Osa there. I hear another jet coming in. It's an SU-25 cluster. We'll be going for the tanks. But it will take fire, I'm sure. Yeah, Osa's getting shots off. It's going to bomb this corner. Oh, this could be a very lucky strike. No. Random fire on this point here. That was a lot of blast radius, but did not catch the command. That was obviously an attempt to kill the command there. Under 16 minutes left of the game now. Not a lot of movement here from either player. They are stuck in this grueling battle. There are a lot of destroyed buildings here. Jane bringing in a lot of tanks, but struggling to make progress. He's brought in a lot of T-62s, a lot of T-55s, but really struggling to push against these T-64s. T-64s have been amazing in this game. HE jet coming in there, and an AT jet as well. More shots coming in from that grad. MiG-29 coming in there. This rocket attack, or this anti-tank jet is being killed. MiG-29 very likely going to die as well, though. Yep, there it goes. Jane making some progress at the top here, has managed to push round. Will face off against two T-64s, though. Needs to get those tanks moving so they can all fire at the T64 at the same time. Really needs to focus fire. Engine destroyed in that tank. That is not good. Tank is dead. T64 is getting out of there. T64, decent front armor at 16. Nice strike from the HE bomber there. Didn't do much damage though. Tanks pushing around this side against this T64. Have managed to kill the T64 there just as it smoked, I think. Jane looking in a better position here. Over here we're seeing artillery fire coming in from the D30 cannons against this corner, trying to kill the command, but are not managing it because the command is further back. I would say good positioning for commands from both players, to be honest. A little bit off the usual path, shall we say. This is really difficult. I mean, right now it feels like Jane has more in this point, but I'm not sure it's enough to push with. What else is coming in? More T55s. Pioneers. It's tight on every part of the map right now. I mean, for me, this could go at the 40-minute mark with the points they are as they are right now, and Jane getting the win on points, because this is a really tight battle. One player makes a push, loses a bunch of stuff. The other player makes a push, loses a bunch of stuff. It's going back and forth a lot in this point. Neither player going around the back, getting any kills on any command vehicles. Down here, that command moved in and out of the point. I mean, I feel like Jane has lost units here, but I also feel like Toff has lost units here. The same as at the bottom. Toff has now got 6 points though, but this is really challenging. Toff being forced further and further back in this point, but Jane equally not able to put enough infantry and stuff into this point to fill that location. So it's such a tight game. Toff able to move infantry back in. T62 rolling out on its own here. That is really risky. This Razvedka BMP-1 will get shots off at it. Missed. T62 should win that fight though, yeah. If he can find that command, he can kill it. Meta squad don't have any missiles left. Meta squad is dead. T62 in a good position here. Could this be about to swing in Jane's favour again? There's very little here from Toff. Jane doesn't realise it. Jane's, you know, this is really risky manoeuvring. There is a spare command there ready to go in though. Has he spotted that yet? It's on the move. Surely he can see it now. Yes, he can. Moving it was possibly the mistake there. Definitely gave the position away. HE bomber coming in against it. Oh, beautiful strike. Absolutely beautiful from Jane there. Bringing in that bomber as well to finish the job. However, there is another command there waiting to come in. Tank just sitting there. I mean... Oh, that Spetsnaz commander has moved up a lot and is now within visual range of this, perhaps. Have a look at that. Not quite, probably, but yeah, risky. Difficult to say with visual range in this game sometimes. Jane making a move with some units now. Good, because he needs to maintain control of that side of the point. Jane also in a better position down here. Look at this. Has managed to bring in plenty of reinforcements. Very little in this point for Toff now. He's got a couple of squads of infantry, and he's got a damaged T64 there. Another T64 BV coming in. Again, T64 is such a good tank. I really like them, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Right now, it feels like Jane is in much better position. Just cannot see that command, though. Doesn't have any recon here, I don't think. Does not appear to have. 10 minutes left of this game. +2 currently to Jane. Could soon be +4 if he can push across this bottom point. Toff in a very difficult position now. And just zooming out, I mean, it is looking very blue. I feel like it is swung significantly in Jane's favour in the last 5 minutes or so. I think Toff has lost a lot of units, just been whittled down, and obviously Toff has spent quite a lot on aircraft this game, and the air defense net from JaneSRBRUS has just been absolutely outstanding. Cannot fault the air defense at all. Command has now been spotted and will die. Oh, it's getting out. It's surviving. I'm expecting a bomber or something to come in to finish the job. I'm really surprised that's made it to the back of that point. No mortar fire being called in on it yet. Doesn't appear to be. Malika is aiming at something. Oh, command being brought in here. T64 here as well. T62 is being pushed in against this. I'm sure that command vehicle has been seen. It's dead immediately. The Motsuchu must have killed it. Wow. HE bomber coming in here against that corner. Oh, and there's the surrender. Commiserations, Toff. Really well played. Obviously, just towards the end there, Jane pushing out. Kills to losses show it as well. What a game, guys. That was really tight. I honestly was struggling to call that for a very long time. Really well played to both of you. Really, really good play with the T64s for Toff. Jane, I cannot fault your air defense net. It was outstanding, that game. Let's have a look at the kills and losses. Nothing too stand out. Obviously, the Bucks getting plenty of kills. Malika got a lot of kills there. T62 got plenty of kills. T62, T62, T62. And on the other side, Conkers did a really good job. T64B, look at all of those kills. Really, really good job there. Desert Nikki Metis was doing good. BMD2, T64B, Razvedka BMP1, absolutely outstanding. T64BV again. T64's really showing their worth in this game. Great game, guys. Thank you again, everyone, for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe. Make sure you check out the Matcherino page, link below. Spare a couple of minutes of your time. Click a couple of buttons. Add to the tournament winnings for free. You don't have to pay anything. You just click a few buttons, follow an account on Twitter, whatever. It all adds up and all goes towards the guys who are playing very hard and very diligently to bring you this entertainment. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all soon for Game 2.